Hello, dear friend, and welcome to your weekly astrology horoscope. We are expecting a pretty interesting and intense week ahead. First of all, we are having Venus turning retrograde at the very end. This is happening on Sunday. So, of course, this is quite important for the upcoming 40 days. We are also having a full moon on Saturday. And the actual beginning of the week starts with two ingressions of Mars and Mercury. So lots of changes are actually expected during this week. And before we get started, let me invite you also to our Venus retrograde webinar. It will be on Saturday, right before Venus turns retrograde. And we are gonna join together and talk about this shift and also prepare energetically. So, if you want to tune into this rhythm and learn more about Venus retrograde and what you can do to use it in your advantage, you are welcome to join us. You will find the links below. So, let's get started now with Monday. And as I already said, we have two ingressions. Mars is moving to Sagittarius. So Mars was in Scorpio for a couple of months, and now Mars is moving to Sagittarius. This is a strong position for Mars, even though the Scorpio position is stronger. The Sagittarius position is also pretty comfortable because this is a fire sign. So overall, we may feel energetic and ready to take action and pursue our goals. One of the most important things about Sagittarius is the focus on our goals and the future. And Mars, on the other side, is the planet of initiatives, taking actions, taking risks. So when we combine those two together, the best thing that may happen is pursue your goals and do something, take some actions in order to achieve your goals. As always, there is also a positive, challenging side, and this may lead into arguments which are related to some kind of beliefs or philosophies or even a religion sometimes. So we are not necessarily open to opinions of other people. Instead, we might be trying to convince others in our own perspective, in our own vision, in a rather harsh way. But again, Mars is strong, so we can use this time and concentrate on our goals. The sun is there as well. The sun is also in Sagittarius, so we have lots of focus on this energy, our perspective about the future, but not only as a vision, but also as an action plan and something that we are going to focus on and also invest our energy into. So this will be a tendency for more than a month ahead, and it's pretty nice to have it in mind. The other ingression is Mercury, which moves from Sagittarius to Capricorn. And for Mercury, actually, this is a big difference because Mercury in Sag is not really strong. But in Capricorn, it's quite comfortable. Not the strongest one, but still a pretty logical position. So our mind can be more concentrated. We may focus on more practical things. We may get more organized. We may also focus on finding practical solutions. So Mercury in Capricorn can be very logical, very result oriented, very organized. In terms of communication, not necessarily open. So Capricorn likes to keep the distance and the barriers, and that's something we should also respect. But in terms of work, analyzing things, organizing things, this position can be very helpful. And again, this is a tendency for the upcoming couple of weeks, not just for Monday. Now, something more specific, which is only relevant for Monday is that there will be also a positive aspect between Mercury and Mars. So the same two planets which are changing signs are also having a minor positive aspect, the semi-sextile. And this is great because we may find ways to take action in terms of the decisions we have made or the plans we have made. So here, the mind and the will can work together. So overall, this is pretty helpful and can allow us to be even more productive. And one more thing for Monday is that the moon is in Aries. So again, the focus is on taking action, being brave, courageous, and moving ahead. Now, let's talk about Tuesday next. Tuesday is not that active day. The moon will be in Taurus already. And first of all, this helps for being more grounded, being more patient, more practical. And there will be a trine between the moon and Mercury, which can help for, again, finding some solutions, thinking about the particular situation, and also analyzing it from a very concrete and practical perspective. So, for decision making, for even for communication, especially for business negotiations, this could be a pretty nice day. But there will also be a square between the moon and Saturn, and this may bring some little delays or challenges we need to overcome. So, overall, on Tuesday, the energy is pretty slow and potentially even rigid. We have the moon in Taurus, which is a very slow sign, and then a square with Saturn. So, on Tuesday, you need to be very patient with your tasks and also be prepared to overcome some kind of challenges. On Wednesday, we have also a pretty interesting and quite rare aspect actually. Mars is in conjunction with the South Node in Sagittarius. This is something that happens around once in 2 years, so pretty rare aspect. And it may provoke us to focus on the past. Again, things related to our goals, our visions, our perspectives about the future, but perhaps also the need to let go of something. And you need to take action on this. Whether this will be as simple as getting through your clothes, deciding this is no longer me, I don't like it, and throwing it away or giving it to someone who can use it, or going through your goals and your list and really deciding what you are not going to focus on or which is no longer relevant. This is also a possibility. So, in an active and concrete way, we need to reassess something related to the past and take an action, whether that would be a symbolic action like, crossing this of your list or throwing something away or doing something else. It could even be like an energy ritual or something, but you need to take action, even if it's just a symbolic action, so that you can be released and open the space for something new. So, from a spiritual perspective, I think this could be a pretty interesting day. The moon is still in Taurus, so be patient, be practical, and focus on more concrete things as well. Next, we have Thursday, which is also kind of a slow day. We are having the Sun in a minor challenging aspect with Saturn, and this may create some kind of blockages, restrictions, limitations, challenges, things which are slowing us down. But on the other side, you may have the motivation and the consistency to move past this and really achieve your goals. So I'm not saying don't do anything, it will be too hard. Sometimes it's supposed to be hard, and that's okay. We just need to be prepared for this. The other thing is that the moon is in Taurus until 4 p.m. So again, a very slow combination. So again, we have a mixture of Taurus, Saturn energy. So slow way of, or slow energy around us. But after 4 p.m., the moon is moving to Gemini. So things can get a little bit more dynamic. We can be a little bit more flexible and maybe find some decisions or ask someone for advice. So the energy really shifts after 4 p.m. on Thursday. Then on Friday, there is a mixture of aspects. The Sun in Sagittarius will have a positive aspect with both Pluto and Venus in Capricorn. So this is a great time to focus on some practical financial matters. It could be related to purchases, investments, generally organizing your resources. It could be related to some kind of career goals, even some kind of business negotiations. And also, this is a nice time to focus on your relationship and some kind of emotional matters. So, overall, the energy is pretty dynamic. We can be very passionate and motivated to achieve something. At the same time, the Sun is also having a minor challenging aspect with Uranus. And this may bring some kind of surprises, something unexpected, something new. We can also be more original, more innovative, more creative, but be open for something strange or something unpredictable to happen. So if we embrace the change, it will be fine. And the moon being in Gemini also supports a more flexible approach. What's nice here is that we can keep the critical analytical mind, so we won't be too emotional or like too subjective when we are making decisions. And at the same time, we can find some interesting solutions. Mm, we can be better with figuring out connections and even paying attention to some details. So overall, I think that Friday could be a pretty productive day and definitely faster if we compare this to the previous days. So we said Thursday is a slow day, Tuesday for sure also pretty slow. Compared to that, Friday is pretty dynamic and again, much faster. On Saturday, we are having a full moon. So there will be another video on the full moon in which I will address this in details and really present you the whole picture. But we can just mention here that the full moon is energetically and emotionally more intense because there are two different polarities which are kind of like equally strong. So from one side, it may create discomfort. From another side, it may help us to see things from different angles and kind of like increase our awareness about something, especially when it comes to goals and planning in this case. And the other aspect on Saturday is a quintile between Mercury and Neptune. This can support the creative thinking, the intuition, the inspiration. And at the same time, it's nice that Mercury being in Capricorn at the same time is very logical and also focused on results. So the best way to use this is listen to your intuition, imagination, and creativity, and then try to materialize this and have something concrete as a result. So, again, you can be creative and intuitive and yet handle some practical matters or make some concrete decisions. And yeah, all of this can really help the productivity. Again, I'm reminding you that on Saturday, we are going to have our Venus retrograde webinar. So we will prepare and really tune into this interesting energy. And on Sunday, obviously, we are having this shift, Venus actually turning retrograde for the upcoming 40 days, so until almost the end of January. This is very important for Capricorns because Venus will be in Capricorn, and overall for making some reevaluations, relationships, financial stuff, how we evaluate also some kind of structures and even some kind of social perspectives, maybe even political stuff could be triggered. So the upcoming 40 days will be time for reassessments and reevaluations. And emotionally, of course, things could be different, sometimes more complicated, sometimes just deeper, because we can really get to the bottom of our emotional experiences. So, yeah, it might be very interesting for sure. But keep in mind that specifically on Sunday, we might be oversensitive, we might be over emotional, and things can be more unbalanced because the moon is also in Cancer on Sunday, and this increases the sensitivity and can make us feel more vulnerable, more emotionally open. So yeah, it's an interesting combination for sure, and emotions might be kind of like all over the place. But there is a great aspect also happening on Sunday, a very different one. It will be a sextile between the Sun and Jupiter. And this is such a great combination for, first of all, tuning into your own inner wisdom, paying attention to the things which are your real priorities. Also, connecting to your optimism or finding more optimism, belief, faith, ambition, desire for success, all of those could be very accentuated. And overall, the desire is for expansion, for doing something important, for moving forward and growing. So, this can feel, first of all, very recharging and energizing and motivating. And it's a great time again for focusing on something important. So that's our brief astrology overview of the week ahead. I would love for you to join us on Saturday for our Venus retrograde webinar. And as always, I would love to hear your thoughts. You can share them in the comments below about the week ahead, about Venus, or anything else which you find interesting throughout this week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you very soon.